To foster the success of our Transborder students at San Diego State University is to foster the success of our communities, cities, and regions at the U.S.-Mexico borderlands. Transborder students have an immense talent to navigate both worlds and a profound sense of belonging at the borderlands that translate to acts of kindness and civic leadership on both sides of the border. To invest in their academic success is to invest in the prosperity and future of our transborder and binational regions we share. I'm Vanessa Falconorta, the daughter of working-class immigrant parents from Mexico and Peru, here today, Carlos and Galicia, transfronteriza from the San Diego-Tijuana border region, and double alumna of SDSU. I'm also assistant professor in the Division of Education at SDSU Imperial Valley, and proud to call home the Imperial Valley Mexicali borderlands. I'm also a scholar and organizer dedicated to the social justice of my community through both research and practice. In my research and organizing with my community over the last decade, I've found that transborder students have community cultural wealth and funds of knowledge that transcend borders, with a transborder capital embodied in an unstoppable ganas de salir adelante, informed by the grit and tenacity to adapt and thrive. Despite these talents, transborder students face many challenges, like food and housing insecurities, exhaustion and malnutrition due to rigorous transborder commutes, and anxiety and depression inflicted by the harassment of U.S. customs agents. They face racism, sexism, and homophobia at U.S. ports of entry. Transborder students are prevalent along the U.S.-Mexico borderlands and throughout the academic pipeline. And unfortunately, they face these challenges in all levels of their education and development. The factors that lead families to live transborder lives vary. For transborder students, some of the most critical are due to housing insecurities and living at the borderlands to stay together due to deportation, forming part of mixed immigration status families. At SDSU Imperial Valley, this is where we situate our work, implementing the Building Bridges graduation, the first ever transborder graduation in the history of education at the U.S.-Mexico borderlands. Inaugurated on May 14, 2022, this historic ceremony was dedicated to building bridges between the U.S.-Mexico border, providing graduating students whose immediate family members could not cross the border the opportunity to celebrate commencement with their loved ones in Mexico. Since then, we've implemented this transborder graduation annually at SDSU IV, and most recently here with our colleagues at the SDSU main campus, serving our transborder students along the California-Baja California borderlands and their families. At SDSU Imperial Valley, we rise, we defy, transcending borders, transforming lives by building bridges. Yet this work is no easy task, as SDSU IV has been historically under-resourced and underfunded since its inception in 1959. Obtaining the federal designation of a Hispanic serving institution since 2004, SDSU IV is located undeniably at the borderlands, less than a mile away from the U.S.-Mexico border, serving predominantly Latinx students. These disparities directly affect our students, lacking some of the most basic needs in any higher education setting, like a cafeteria or a designated space for the university's cross-culture center. Our students at the borderlands deserve more. They deserve a human right to an education with dignity, the right to their classrooms without being dehumanized every day in their trajectories to school, the right to spaces designated to their cultural validation and support as transborder people, and the right to celebrate the joy of their academic achievements with their loved ones, without the obstacle of the border. Transborder students at SDSU and throughout the academic pipeline are the embodiment of building bridges. With their commitment to civic leadership and activism to the social justice of communities affected by the border and border enforcement policies. To foster their success is to invest in the prosperity and future of our borderlands. The strides I see today at SDSU, I could only imagine when I was a Transborder student here at the SDSU main campus. And how we're coming together in solidarity to acknowledge, recognize, and support our satellite campus at the Imperial Valley Borderlands is our practice of our One SDSU community principle. As a university committed to transcending borders and transforming lives, it is our responsibility to come together to serve our students at the Borderlands through institutionalized initiatives that are long-lasting with funded systems of support that are designated to building bridges. Thank you.